All right, guys, continuing on with the build. What we're doing now, this windshield, I forgot to cover it when I brought it home. It got pretty damaged with rocks. I don't know if you can see here. See that? Yeah, big old holes in that windshield. So we got to replace it. I got a new one in the back here. My friend Nick at the Detailing Glass Company hooked me up with the windshield for this guy, so I'm gonna start cutting it out. I got lots of stuff going on today. I gotta go film a project this afternoon yet. So I'm using time that I have, little bits at a time, and we'll just put it all together. In this video, you'll just see it all at one time, but I'm gonna start cutting this guy out. Anyways, whatever, let's get to the windshield. Guys, if you've never changed a windshield before, it's not actually that scary. I've been doing it for 20 years now. I did my first windshield when I was 15 years old. Been doing them ever since. It's not that hard. Don't be scared of it. Try it. If it leaks, you can always just do it again. So what you're gonna need, not a lot of tools. You need a knife, has some extra blades, because you probably will break those. And you just get to start slicing. Just slice and slice and slice and slice. And it's time consuming. You just gotta do it. Go around the whole windshield. You slice it until it just, it comes out. So you just keep slicing, and then when you're gonna put the new one in, you put your adhesive on there, and then usually you stick it on the top, or sometimes you stick it on the bottom, and it's got little rests where it sits on, and then you just fold it on. I'll show you how to put the adhesive on there and how to make sure that you're gonna do it in a way that it never leaks. Very simple. We'll get to the next step right now. Okay, one of the things you can do, if it is hard to get to, then you start putting wedges in there. Pry bars, sticks, screwdrivers, anything that you can stick in there. Put it in there, a little bit of leverage, that helps the knife cut a little bit smooth. So, we'll get this guy in here, helps the knife cut a little bit easier, and then we can start cutting along the whole thing. Okay, as we get into this, I've changed my mind of everything that I'm gonna do, because that's normally how I do stuff. I get into things, and then I'm like, oh wait, I have a better way of doing it. I forgot, I have windshield removing tools. Basically what this is like a big long wire. So you stick this in here, and then you saw all the way around the windshield, and it cuts all the urethane. And it's another way of doing it. Well, let's rock and roll. Now, this also is often easier with two people. I don't have to second person here. That's why we're using the knife, and we're using this, what do you call this? Some guys call it piano wire. I just call it a wire. We just use all the tools until it works. Okay, so in here you can see this is what using that. Here, I'll show you the difference right here. So this is, if you look right here, this is what using the knife does. This is what using this wire here does. Now I run into an issue here where it started cutting into the glass. I'm gonna have to work in there a bunch to get that around that corner, but that shows you how it works. A knife does a cleaner, smoother job right at first. The wire is not as good of a job, but sometimes you just can't get at that with a knife from in there. So pull this out of the way. So we're gonna keep working at that, and then work our way all around. Let's get at it. Okay, guys, we're pulling this windshield out, as you've seen so far. AJ's come here. Come here, AJ. A wonderful volunteer that has come help because this is going to be fun, and we're going to have fun. We're about to remove a windshield from an ambulance here. We're just waiting for one other camera to get set up. Also, I have instructed cameraman up there to do his job. All right. You ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Wow. Hey, check that view out. Right on. Okay, well, that worked out pretty easy. Okay. Yeah. Okay, next thing that we gotta do, now that that's taken care of, all this old stuff, we gotta cut all of this out, and then we can set up the new windshield and put the new one in. So that's what we're gonna do now. All right, hot tip for all you windshield replacement gurus out there that are learning to get better. Take a blowgun. When you use a blowgun, see these little things here? A blowgun will highlight that. Sometimes it just sits flat and you don't know that there's anything loose there. Because then when you go to put a new windshield on, then when you put urethane on there, it's got a separate layer in there and it'll end up leaking. So it's just a hot tip. You want to get rid of all these little guys and your windshield won't leak. Okay, we're about to go somewhere. By that I mean we're going nowhere. All right, we're about to put this windshield in. So first, we got to do a couple things. Alex here is going to tell you what we're doing.
Well, what essentially Cody's doing is he's cleaning the black area where we got to put the windshield adhesive, right? Other aka urethane, the stuff that glues everything together. And then cleaning our surface.
Sorry. There's a few ways to do this. You cut this in a certain way so that you never have a leak. I'll teach you how to never have a leak. But first off, we're gonna start, we're gonna cut, basically how far down here you cut is gonna dictate how tall your bead of urethane is gonna be that's on there. You want 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch so that when you push it down, it spreads out nicely and you get a good seal and it doesn't leak. The last thing you wanna do is put a windshield in and then it leaks and you're like, darn it. So, easy way to do this, I'm gonna go about there. I think that looks good. We go by what looks good, not by what actual measurements are. So once you cut that off, what I do, you cut this in the middle, right, like this. Okay, so this dictates how wide my bead is gonna be. When I cut into here, dictates how tall it's gonna be. I want about 1/2 inch right there. And then I cut this right here. A little more there. There. So you cut it like that. That's how tall it's gonna be. Not enough. I need some more. Like that. There. Have we all learned something today? Okay. They're looking at me with eyes of Wait a minute. You know what the most important thing is? We need a caulking gun, and I don't know if I have one in here. Oh, I found one. Look at this. See? It's not the one I wanted, but it'll work. So then, we're gonna use this tip for both tubes because it's gonna take more than one tube to do this. Pop this guy open. You can take whatever desired method you prefer. Also note, once this is open, this is the stickiest, blackest thing in the world. See, it's already on me. This is not worth anything. This glove is now garbage. Because if it touches anything else, it doesn't come off for an eternity. It's horrible. Once we get this guy on here, never start at the top. Top is a bad idea because when you're gonna join it up, when you go all the way around and then you butt up on the other end, then you have a joint like this. This never works. You never wanna do this. Do not do this, it doesn't work, I promise. Not a good idea. One more time, this does not work. Do not do this. Anyways, back to what I was saying. You're gonna wanna start on the side here. So you go all the way around, you come up to the side. If you're butting up here, water can sit right there and it can work its way in and it'll leak down your windshield. You don't want that. If it butts up here, it's just gonna keep going down. Learn how to use your tool. It's coming. Yeah, boy. Wow, okay, now, so how we had this cut like that, you're just gonna put this down here. This is how I was taught how to do it. This is how I've always done it. So exactly what's happening right now, what I was going to explain. You get this thing wet so it seals better, but if you do too much, then it won't seal at all, and then when you're lifting it out there, then it falls off and you break your windshield, and then that's just not a fun situation. So you get a little bit of Haktua on it, and then just enough, not too much. Make sure that it's sealed. This is not quite sealed as good as I want. It was perfect the first time. Shouldn't have taken it off.
Well, here's a nice seal.
Flip it over, and we'll rest it on those. This window's way too small.
It is too.
Wow, what the heck? Ah. Okay, pause, the windshield's the wrong one. Okay, so I texted my glass guy. He's like, well, okay, go check, see if there's a serial number on the old ones. Oh, we gotta go dumpster dive, see if we can find a number. Okay, we're shifting gears here. My windshield guy said we'll get the right one in, and this one can go back. So we're gonna get into the back of a. I almost call it an SUV. It's not an SUV. What is it? Wow, if that Ambo's a rockin', make sure you call 411.
What?
We're gonna rip the cabinets out of the back of this thing because I gotta build all new cabinets in there. All right, just as I feared, because I just know how I work. We're now at the point where I'm just ripping everything out because nothing works the way that I want it to, and I'm not like, oh, I'm just gonna try and say this and do it half-assed. I'm an all or nothing kind of guy, so we're now at the point where I'm pulling everything out, pulling it all apart, and we're just ripping the floor out, ripping the side out, ripping the roof out, and just, here we go.
This stuff's sticky enough for...
Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Sticky enough for most crop already.
Okay, through all of my years of restoring vehicles and stuff, what I have learned is that you will have many pieces and parts all over the place. Along with that, you have tons of screws everywhere. So you want to keep things together, tape your screws to your piece. Now they're not gonna go anywhere when you go find this piece because you're already gonna have a lot of time figuring out where you put this down. But at least your screws are there and you don't have to go look for more screws again, because that's freaking annoying and it takes a lot of time. We're trying to figure out how they built this thing in here. We're not really sure, because so far, nothing makes any sense how they got it to be in here. It was either the cabinet was here and they built the ambulance around it, which is the most likely cause right now, or I don't know, we're just pulling out all the screws till enough stuff is loose that you can get it out the hole in the back. That's generally how things work. Okay, so this thing has a radiator in the back also, so it has back heat. Everybody likes a hot back, except me. We're taking this guy out because this runs off of the lines that go to the engine, so that's what heats it, so it only heats when it's running. So if I'm gonna be off-grid camping out in the middle of nowhere, I don't wanna just start the engine up, let that run for 45 minutes so that I have heat back here. I'm putting an auxiliary additional diesel heater somewhere back here yet, with its own tank, its own everything, all that. It's completely separate so that I don't have to start the big old engine just for heat. So what we're doing with this is I'm gonna take this thing out and I'm gonna hang it on the wall in my shop because it's still usable storage. We just have to figure out how to get it out, is the problem. This might be a good spot for a toilet. If I could just sit here and poop in the morning.
The next day.
Okay guys, Nick is here to help me put in the correct windshield, because as you probably saw before, we got the wrong one. We ordered the one that was too small for a different unit, and he got the right one. But what happened was I brought the other one back with the urethane on it that we showed you how to do, and he was like, you should never touch a windshield again. He's a professional. I'm a backyard mechanic, redneck guy who like, I can figure stuff out, but I'm not a professional at it. So he's now here like doing all the professional stuff, and we're gonna get this thing installed, and it's probably never gonna leak. It's never gonna leak, right? He promised. Ooh, that's a guarantee, I think. Is that guaranteed? Oh, perfect. Okay, we're at 420,000 kilometers, so you don't have to worry too long.
So when you cut out the primer, the bodies or the urethane, the body side needs a primer so that the urethane can bond to that fresh coat of primer.
Then what happens if you don't use primer?
Then it leaks.
Gotcha, all right.
Urethane will let go, it won't bond properly, and then it'll let go. Also, you use it for like these bare spots where you cut down to primer it a little bit.
Yeah, you don't have bare metal.
Yeah.
I guess bare metal would be mad. If you have a windshield sitting, here like this, you got a little gap right in there, and then you'll have water that sits in there. And if there's bare metal, you'll have moisture and it'll rust.
What, you want to get the sexual favors there?
Give it to me, baby.
Sliding the sausage.
Ooh, in slow-mo.
Yeah, boy.
Slow-mo.
Okay, look at that. There's a windshield in there. Nick's cruising off back to work. Thank you to Nick, the Detail and Glass Company here in Steinbach. That guy's got you all the hookups for all your windshields, and he does vinyl wraps and all that kind of stuff. And he's gonna end up being the guy that wraps this too. I have learned I have done wraps and big decals and stuff in the past. I hate it. Every single time I do it, I hate it. I can do a decal that big, and then I'm okay with doing that. But anything bigger than that, I just have to, you know what? I just got to pay someone else to do it. So he's going to be the guy doing all the wraps on this stuff. But once again, big thanks to Nick for helping me put in this windshield properly, doing it the right way, not just Cody can figure out how to do something and it works, but now it's done professionally and we're ready to rock.